Welcome back. In this small video I'm going to go over some of the problems that can be created if you don't follow a process in place with Dropbox. Let's say you access Easy As on two separate computers at the same time. What this can do is it can force Dropbox to see that there's been a change in the data files on both computers. So it's trying to update the files at the same time from both computers, and this can cause problems. So I'm actually going to muck around doing some of that, and then I'm going to show you how to overcome some of it. Right, on this computer here I am going to run the Easy As software, and you'll notice that I have a dummy account set up, and I've actually called it Pumpkin. So this particular set of books has one transaction in there. Now what I've actually done is I've actually linked this computer to my laptop as well. So if I click here, this is actually now the laptop. So I'm going to run Easy As on the laptop as well in a second, and I can do all that from here. And it's the same thing as if you had two separate computers, but I'm just doing it all from the one computer, and I'm controlling the laptop, guys. So it is two computers because I'm just controlling the laptop from this one computer, so you can actually see it all on this one video screen. And right down here I have already opened up the Dropbox. So when we go into the Dropbox, and there's our files there. Now you'll notice that this is a good example actually. You'll notice that we've got 1, 2, 3. There's the 4 main files, and we see this other little file here, and you're saying, hang on, there's only 4 data files. When Easy As accesses the database files, it actually creates another file. It's like a finder file. So you don't need to worry about that. What happens is when you exit the program, if you actually watch this here, see, this particular file was created on this machine the moment I ran the software. And sometimes it can actually create 2 or 3 of them at once. It depends upon what parts of the database are being accessed at that time. So you'll notice that if I exit this program, you'll notice that it's going to end up disappearing from the Dropbox. So let's just give it a second. You'll notice that it's going to disappear once it catches up to itself, because it's got to update from this computer. Still waiting. I wonder if I have to refresh the screen. Maybe I might have to refresh the screen because it might not update on the screen in real time. Let me just refresh that and see. Yeah, it didn't update on the screen in real time. Okay, so it wasn't that much of a good example, but it showed you that the moment I exited the program, it deleted the file from the computer, and at the same time it deleted it from the lockbox. So the Dropbox. You don't have to worry about it. The computer does that. It's been doing this all the time anyway, and you just haven't noticed it. And you might notice it now because Dropbox is in use. Don't worry about it. Nothing to concern yourself with. When you exit the programs, you'll notice that there's only 4 files that are left anyway, and they're the main data files. Okay? Right, I'm going to run that program again. I'm going to put in a transaction, and then I'm going to run the other one. I'm going to run it then on the other computer and put in a transaction. Let's see if we can't make this kill itself. Say $1,000. Okay, so I've put a transaction in there of $1,000 in the expense screen. Now I'm just going to give this long enough to update to the other computer. I'm just going to go to the other computer here. Okay, so I've waited a couple of minutes. So I just wanted to make sure things had updated a bit so it was more realistic. So I'm accessing the computer on the program on one computer, and then now suddenly someone else accesses it on another computer at the same time. If you have a 2-person office, or you're out with your laptop in the field, and your partner jumps on Easy As at home when the partner knows not to do it because you could be accessing it during the day. So now we're both going to be on at the same time. Let me just do that. I'm going to access the data. So now I've run the program on the other computer. We have both computers running Easy As. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back to this computer. I'm going to enter another expense transaction, and then I'm going to quickly jump to the laptop and enter another one as well. So I'm just going to enter more here. So I've got another one entered here. I'm going to quickly jump to here. I'm going to enter an income one this time, not an expense. I might actually enter another expense one as well. Okay. Now you'll notice that this one here already had the other one. Remember, the other one had 3 lines in there. Now this has only got 2. This one only had 2 expense transactions, but yet I've already added 3. On the other computer, it's got 3. See, this already we've got a confusion because this is not updating. It does not have the same records as the other one. Now, I'm going to just let the Dropbox see if it catches up. So you might have noticed there that I had added 3 expense items on the first computer, and when I went back to the expense again on the second computer, there was only 2. It had not had time to update for the second computer. Plus, we were in the software at the same time, so you can cause complete data corruption. And in fact, if I'm doing it at the right time, I can cause the whole database to screw itself, because it's like trying to create 2 invoice numbers that are numbered 40. The software is going to chuck a mental because it is going to completely get lost, because it's not going to understand how come it's got 2 in the system at the same time. And that's effectively what we're doing if we're accessing the databases at the same time. Now, I think that's had long enough to update. Let me just run the program on this computer, the main computer to start with. Actually, no, I'm going to run it on the laptop because it was the one that didn't have as much, wasn't it? Let's jump back to the laptop and work out which one. I'm going to jump back to here. See, it could very well work. That's our chances with the internet. But I doubt if it's going to work properly because we were accessing at the same time. It should have corrupted it. It should have caused a problem. Okay, well there we go. Have a look at that. We've now got these 3 transactions sitting here, right? We've only got 3. We should have a total of 4. Let's jump in the income and see if we've got one in here still. Okay, we've got an income. Now let's jump on the other machine, and then we're going to do another test after this. I'm just going to leave that sitting. I'll exit that actually. Let's quickly jump on this machine. Okay, you'll notice that this is equal to the other machine though now. See, that the last one was advertising, I noticed there at the bottom. So we do have these 2 machines matching, but we've lost 1 transaction. Because I know there's a missing transaction there, but I want to prove this. So let's prove it by creating an invoice on this machine. Then I'm going to quickly jump to the other machine and we will add a quote. And then we'll see what's left at the end of it. So I'll add an invoice here. Okay, so we've got invoice number 1, right? I'm going to stay in the program and just run it on the other machine. And then we're going to add a quote. And it will actually be quote number 1 as well. Well, it'll be quote number 1. So we've got invoice number 1 in the first one. This one's going to end up being quote number 1. Then we're going to exit the programs. Wait a couple of minutes to come back in. And I'll show you what's left. We're going to lose a transaction. And more than likely we're going to lose the invoice because it was the one that was created before this one. But it doesn't necessarily mean that. It depends upon how quick the Dropbox is updating itself. It's usually quite fast though. Okay, let's exit these programs. Now, I'm guessing that if I exit, I'm guessing the last one that I exit is going to end up being the primary. So if I exit this one here first, the first one I updated, and now I exit the quote, I think that what's going to happen is we're going to lose the invoice and retain the quote. But I'm just going to leave it go for another few minutes. I'm going to pause this, leave it go for about 5 minutes. Just let Dropbox see if it can actually pick one or the other. I just want to see what happens. But I know you can get a total conflict and a total failure of the data. And this is the problem you have. Now, how do you fix it? There's only one way you can fix a total data failure. That is, you need backup files. And then you need to restore the backup files, and I'm going to show you what to do to fix that. Anyway, I think we've been long enough, so let me just run easy as now and see if it collapses on itself. I'm really curious. I'm going to run it on this computer here, hoping it craps itself. Very surprised it didn't crap itself. Okay, what have we got? Let's do those 3 transactions there. Do we have an invoice? Got an invoice. Shouldn't have the quote. Shouldn't be there. So there we go. We lost the quote. In this instance, we didn't lose. We lost it the other way around. Now, it doesn't appear that the system's corrupted itself. It appears that it's recovered itself and has dropped the quote. Now, that is the best case scenario. But don't expect that that's always going to happen, because you can corrupt the data very, very easily by accessing it at the same time. And more to the point, if you're creating the same quote number or invoice number at the same time, I'm going to do that in a minute. Let's do that. Let's create an invoice on both machines at the same time. It should generate the same number. Let's see if we can't kill it, because I actually want to kill it. I want to prove to you that you can kill the data. See, the quote's gone. So there you see an example of losing transactions because we had this conflict going on. Now, I actually want to kill it. I'm hoping to kill the data files completely. So let's see if I can do that by creating the same invoice number. I'm really wanting you to see that, because I know it can happen. I know it will happen. Now, of course, these are worst case scenarios. I mean, if you just follow your own little system, if you're the only one accessing the files, if you're a mobile mechanic, it's never going to happen. I mean, you just have your little system in place. No one's going to be accessing the data, because if you're only doing it, then you're only accessing it on one PC at one time anyway. What am I doing here? I'm going to do a quote. Right, what I've done is I've created these 2 quotes. I've created one with a total of 2,000. I've created the other one with a total of 1,000, okay? Now I'm going to exit the both programs at the same time. This should allow it to really hopefully have a panic attack. What I'm hoping for anyway. It's probably going to make me a lie. It's probably going to cause it to lose one of the quotes. So I'm just going to pause this video and I'm going to come back, and hopefully when I come back it's crapped itself. Right, let's see what's happened to our data files.